of the exhibition center, and those are the Craft Village, the OTOP Marketplace, and Hibla. One of the major global macro trends that has guided us in our journey developing this edition of Manila Fame is a trend that we call hyperlocalism. And very simply, it means local shaping global and global shaping the local. The OTOP Marketplace, for instance, one town, one product, that has been curated by Jingoy Brinceseso. It's a perfect example of hyperlocalism. Hibla, which is a project of Senator Lauren Lagarde, is another perfect example. It features the arts and crafts of 12 schools of living traditions and 16 weaving centers that seek to preserve the country's distinct cultural heritage and ensure that they are passed on to the next generation. The third, the Craft Village, takes age-old traditional crafts and breathes new life into them. And the craft villages totally capture local shaping global and global shaping local. The last, excuse me, the last feature that I would share with you, just because it's last on my list, is by no means reflective of its importance. In fact, I think it is and will be one of the greatest features and aspects of this edition of Manila Fame. And this feature is the journey of the Tao Tao. It is a presentation that is being executed by the Asian Cultural Council, which is one of the greatest organizations in the world today, which works so hard to preserve and protect and evolve the arts and the crafts of the world. And the ACC Philippine group has put together a remarkable contemporary art exhibition that features sculptures chiseled by anonymous sculptors and reworked by 5 remarkably talented Filipino ACC grantees. This exhibition will be on the 2nd floor of the exhibition center and is literally not to be missed.
Can you speak more about the global trends that have impacted this edition of Fame?
I briefly touched on 2 of the global macro trends that we have dealt with, that we have explored in this journey that we have taken to finalize and put together this edition of Manila Fame. The first one that I referred to is hyperlocalism. And this is a macro trend that will be impacting our lives and the product that we encounter in our lives for some time to come, because as the world becomes more technology driven, what happens on a local basis has more and more impact on what is happening globally, and vice versa. It's a trend that is really, for lack of a better expression, an in my backyard attitude. That may be a very American expression, which it is, but it is all influenced by the desire to connect with local culture, roots, and close at-home heritage. It has been a major part in the development of the entire presentation at the show. The second trend that I briefly mentioned, the macro trend on a global basis, we call it being in connection. In this fast-paced world that we live in, this technology-driven world that we live in, we rarely, if ever, have today any downtime. We are connected 24/7, whether by our iPads or our mobile phones or our desktops or our laptops, whatever. We are connected, and that connection is creating an entire environment and way of living that now is seeking some downtime, seeking a place of solitude or a sanctuary. We have dealt with that with our main feature on the ground floor, which we call the Garden Pavilion, which takes this whole global macro trend of being in connection and drills it down to the phenomena that is referred to as taking the inside outside and bringing the outside inside. It's not just about being in connection with nature, it is about being in connection with family, with friends, and our surroundings in the few moments of downtime that the world we live in affords us today. The third macro trend that we have really concentrated on, and I would say will always concentrate on because it's not going away, is the whole macro trend of sustainability. The single most important thing that we have to deal with in the world we live in today is protecting our environments, protecting all that is around us. And the Philippines leads the way in this with its wealth of indigenous materials that designers and craftsmen are now taking and evolving into new product for today. And whether that product is crafted by hand or by machine, it is done so here in the Philippines in environmentally sound manufacturing processes and practices.
As you know, sir, we're going to have a live stream of the opening ceremonies and the awards during the first on the 17th. You may want to invite viewers or users to watch or catch the live stream on the 17th, sir.
Yes, I would invite and welcome everyone to Manila Fame, and in particular the first day of the show, and toward the end of the day our opening ceremony will be greeted by the Secretary of Trade here in the Philippines, as well as other guests, and we invite you all to attend.
Thank you very much, sir, for the time. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.